this social media star seemed to be living her best life.
You got like 1 million followers or something?
2 million.
Damn.
Until one fateful night, when sirens and cop cars forced her into a disturbing reality.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys would like to show support, you could do so by liking this video and also by subscribing to my channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. This is the case of OnlyFans and Instagram model Courtney Clenney, or Courtney Taylor, also known online. She is facing a second-degree murder charge, and she is accused of stabbing and killing her 27-year-old boyfriend, Christian Ambuncelli, in their Miami apartment back in April of 2022. So, just a little backstory. The couple had been dating since November of 2020. Their relationship was just described as violent and toxic. Very unstable, guys. The couple's neighbors had complained of loud fights, and there was also an elevator altercation that was caught on camera, and I'll insert the clip somewhere here so you guys can see. So prior to Courtney stabbing her boyfriend, she had been arrested in Vegas back in 2021 for domestic battery on Christian.
It's July 27th of 2021 in Las Vegas. Courtney Clenney is being arrested by police, accused of attacking her then boyfriend, Christian Ambuncelli. He's in tears upon learning Vegas cops will arrest Clenney for throwing a glass at him earlier in the night inside this messy hotel room.
So being violent wasn't like a new thing to her. The couple had moved to Florida from Texas in January of 2022, where they lived together. They shared a condo together. Following their move, the apartment staff and security had began documenting these fights and these arguments between the two. Also, neighbors that lived 2 floors above them even complained about loud noises coming directly from their unit. So it's not like, oh, we don't know where this is coming from. They knew exactly where these noises were coming from. The property management was planning on issuing an eviction notice due to noise complaint in the weeks leading up to the killing. On the last week of March of 2022, the couple had taken time apart. The two were just giving each other some space in order to just self-reflect and self-discover. However, that didn't last long because they rekindled their relationship and moved back in together on April 1st, guys. This means they were only a few days apart. Like, clearly that is not enough time for a toxic relationship. I'm not an expert on this, but I just don't think it's enough time. Almost immediately after they moved back in together, there were more arguments leading up to the police showing up at their door. It's almost like they wasted no time, and it was almost like a let's pick up where we left off type of thing. On October 3rd, 2 had recorded themselves with their dogs, and Christian, for whatever reason, left the apartment. He had stepped out that same day early in the afternoon. At around 4 p.m., Courtney gave Christian a ring before she went live on Instagram. She rings him again at 4:33, but by 4:33, Christian's already at the apartment. Like, he's already back. At 4:57, Courtney called 911 to report that her boyfriend, Christian, was stabbed and needed help. Okay. What just happened in between less than 30 minutes? On the 911 call, Christian can be heard in the background saying that he was dying. He couldn't feel his arm. Courtney is also heard in that phone call saying something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, baby," or "Baby, I'm sorry." Huh? Excuse me? Courtney had called her mom twice before she called 911. While all of this was happening, their neighbors were also calling. They were calling property management about the disturbance, and the security company also called police. It must have been like really loud. Like, how loud are you for the neighbors to complain about you? At 5:04, the police is seen exiting the elevators at their unit, so they were already at their apartment. This means Christian was stabbed by Courtney sometime between 4:33 and 4:57. That's less than 30 minutes. Like, I don't know. I can't even play a scenario in my head. When the responding officers arrived at the scene, they found Courtney covered in blood. Like, she was drenched in blood. Courtney admitted to stabbing Christian, but her story just kept changing, guys. Like, it was just so inconsistent. She claimed that it was in self-defense because Christian had shoved her against a wall by her neck and threw her to the ground. And she was finally able to get up. She grabbed a knife from the kitchen. And I'm like, if he just literally threw you around, wouldn't you think that he would try to stop you from grabbing the kitchen knife? I don't know. Okay, hypothetically, like for a second, let's just pretend her story is actually true and Christian threw her around a little bit. Does that mean she has to stab the man and kill him for being thrown around? But get this, the story just keeps getting more freaking bizarre. She then tells investigators that Christian started coming toward her, so almost like charging at her. She threw the knife, guys, from 10 feet away. I'm picturing this thing and I'm like, wow, this is some movie scene. It just sounds bizarre. The medical examiner determined that the knife came at a downward angle and throwing it wouldn't have caused like the injuries that it did, and it wouldn't have been fatal. Also, police found no visible injuries on this girl. Like, wouldn't you have marks on your neck if he like threw you around, like he grabbed you by your neck? She would have had something. Per her attorney, Courtney acted in self-defense and said that Christian had quote unquote attacked her and choked her that evening. Where are your marks, ma'am? Courtney had no choice but to meet with force, quote unquote. Courtney was in Hawaii for rehab for substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder when she was finally arrested on Wednesday, August 10th of 2022. Her attorney stated, quote unquote, Courtney was seeking treatment for her PTSD and related issues to this case. It is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of domestic violence. I agree with that, but this is not the case here. Okay, and then he continued on with, Courtney was clearly defending herself. Sir, have we not watched the same videos? So she's the victim now. Let's save all of this for actual victims of domestic abuse. She's not the only person that's been arrested. Her parents were also arrested a few weeks back for tampering with evidence in the case.
The parents of OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney are facing charges tonight. It's connected to the investigation into her boyfriend's killing.
Now, we just learned minutes ago that Clenney's mother bonded out of jail. However, her father tonight remains in custody.
So after the murder, her parents had went back to the apartment that the couple shared and were cleaning the apartment out. While they were cleaning their Miami apartment, they found a laptop that belonged to Christian. And instead of her parents turning it in, they said, oh, let's see if we can log in. Her parents attempted logging into his computer. So this deceased man's computer, this man that was killed by your daughter, they attempted to log in. They were finally able to log in successfully.
Prosecutors say her parents accessed and took Abumseli's personal laptop from the crime scene.
Clearly, what they did was illegal. Clearly, the state attorney's office was correct in filing charges.
According to the affidavit, the Clenneys accessed or caused to be accessed the victim's laptop with knowledge that such access was unauthorized.
While all of this was happening, her parents were texting Courtney's attorney, and some of the text read, are there any pin/passwords we could try? This text is from Courtney's dad. Her attorney then responds with, these were possible, was not sure about capitalization or spacing, but they are the ones she could come up with. I will try all together and mix some of the capitalization and see if we get lucky. Then her dad responds with, now I know that the pin is actually a 4-digit number. Hell yeah, that pin worked. Why are we happy that we got into this man's computer? Are we stupid or are we dumb? I don't know. Pick one. All the videos, guys, that have been released are just so hard to watch. I personally didn't see Christian abusing Courtney. She was doing all of the abusing, but not just physically, but verbally. It was a lot. And the girl looks completely comfortable attacking him. Like, you could tell it's not her first time. All the videos show a pattern of the same behavior, and all of my understanding and compassion goes to domestic violence victims. I wish both individuals would have sought help before leading up to this, because things would have been so different for everybody involved. You know, if Christian would have left this relationship, if Courtney would have sought help with her mental state. Guys, if you guys are in an abusive relationship, please talk to somebody. Please. I know it's hard, but we have to get out of there. All of my love goes to you guys that are currently living and going through something like this.